Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild. Today, we take on the number 2 NFL draft pick of 2025, and that is what some may consider a generational NFL prospect in Travis Hunter. Standout Heisman Trophy winner at the University of Colorado, drafted by the Jaguars, who traded up from 5 to 2 with the Cleveland Browns to be able to make this draft pick, and they got themselves Travis Hunter. Now, in the game of Madden, unlike EA Sports College Football 25, you cannot play a wide receiver at corner. You have to either have him be a full-time wide receiver or a full-time corner. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Maybe in Madden 26 that'll be a change that they make now with the addition of Travis Hunter. So that could be a possibility, but we're playing Madden 25. That's not a thing. So I have gone in, and the roster that I'm using, we used the same roster for the number 1 draft pick Cam Ward in that rebuild a couple of days ago. And so in that roster, the person that made it, they made Travis Hunter a corner primarily. But I went in and switched it because I feel like when Travis Hunter gets into the league this upcoming season, I feel like they're going to play him primarily at wide receiver and then sprinkle him in on certain downs on defense at corner. That's just my opinion. If you think he's going to be primarily a corner and sprinkle him in a little bit on offense as a wide receiver, then that's totally up. That's whatever you think. I just personally think he's going to be more wide receiver than corner, but play a little corner. So what I've gone in and I've switched him from corner to wide receiver, so he's now going to be a wide receiver. I've also given him superstar dev ability because when you're making a roster in the base of the game, you can't, in just the roster center or whatever, you can't change dev traits. You have to do that actually in the save file that you create. So none of the rookies that were made for this past draft class that are added to this roster, like Cam Ward or Travis Hunter or Will Campbell or whoever it may be, they don't have any dev traits. So every time I do one of these rebuilds where we're focusing on one of the players, I will give them a dev trait that I feel is going to be representative of what they're going to have when they come in Madden 26. I gave Cam Ward star dev because I feel like that's fairly good that he's going to have star dev. I gave Travis Hunter superstar dev because I feel like EA Sports is going to give him superstar dev. Same thing where I think they gave Caleb Williams superstar dev. I think they gave Trevor Lawrence when he came out superstar dev. Joe Burrow, I think, had superstar. So certain players, when you know they're going to be a top player, or at least they have the top player hype, they get a higher dev trait. I gave Travis Hunter superstar dev to reflect that. Now, he might end up having star dev in Madden 26. I can't predict that, but I've given him superstar because I think that he's worth superstar coming out as a rookie. Now, the rest of this draft class is the updated, or the rest of this roster is the updated roster with the draft classes that just happened. So all the free agents are here. All of the other draft picks that the Jaguars made and every other team made are here, or at least as many as the person that created the roster wanted to make. Who knows that they got every single 7th round pick added to the team? I don't know. But as far as I know, all of the players are here. And I'm excited to rebuild the Jaguars. We've taken on this Jaguars team in different iterations over the past few years. We've done different rebuilds. Even the St. Louis Blues that we have currently going on the channel is at its base, at its core, the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the team that we chose to start the team with. That's the team that we relocated to St. Louis. That's the team that we've had with Trevor Lawrence, all that kind of stuff. So that team originally started as the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we have a long history with the Jags on this channel. And I think this could be a fairly simple rebuild because there's probably not that much that we need to change. The offensive line is going to need some work. The defense is going to need the work. But quarterback, running back, and we have 2 great wide receivers. So we're already pretty good at the skill positions. And that alone is probably good enough to get you into the playoffs 9 times out of 10. So I like the way this team is constructed. We just need to add pieces here and there, a little sprinkle of everything, and we should be able to make a Super Bowl and win it. Hopefully, fairly soon, because it took us what 4 seasons, 3 seasons to win a Super Bowl with the Titans. I didn't think that was going to happen so quick, but I believe a little bit more confidently in this Jacksonville Jaguars team. So let's get into it. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go rebuild the Travis Hunter Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the roster we are starting with here, and here is our man of the hour, Travis Hunter. He is a 79 overall at wide receiver. I think he was like an 81 at corner, but we move him down to a 79 here at wide receiver. He is superstar dev, and I'm very excited to have him. Very excited to have this man on the team. He's obviously going to be here the entirety of the rebuild because the rebuild is based around him. And one thing I forgot to do before I loaded in was fix his contract, because when you create players and do all that kind of stuff, the contracts aren't managed. So I do need to fix his contract to make sure he's got a rookie deal. Okay, so he's got we're gonna change that to 4 years because he's got actually we should probably change it to 5 years because he's got the 5th year option. So we'll just bake that into the contract. How much is his contract gonna be worth? Hold on. Let me Google it really quick. Travis Hunter rookie contract. Whoop, not Rocky song. Rookie contract. So he's going to be making 4 years, $46.5 million, including a $30.5 million signing bonus. So his signing bonus, so he's going to be making a lot of money. It's fully guaranteed. So he's making $30.5 million on his signing bonus and a $46.5 million contract. Okay, we can make that work. I probably should have done this off camera, but now you get to see the process, I guess. It's not anything special. But we'll change the signing bonus to 30.5 if we get up there. All right, 30.5, and then the total salary is 46.5, so 46.5. And we'll bake it in for a 5 year, like I said, because you can't give the player a 5th year option when you create them. So we just kind of have to have them have a 5th year option. So that's what we're going to do. So 5 years, 46.5, and then with the 30.5 signing bonus. So he's going to be making a pretty big contract with his signing bonus and his cap hit. All right, we're almost there. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So now he's making a 46.5, 30 million signing bonus. So his cap hit's 11.24. Save the changes. And let me just show you what I was Googling here. Which one do I need to show you? Probably this one. No, that's my camera. Oops. Oh, it's this one over here. So we'll just do that. Boom. Right there is what I was showing you. So that's his contract. All right. Let's get out of that and back to that. Perfect. Okay. So now that we have Travis Hunter's contract locked up, we don't have to worry about re-signing him like we did with Cam Ward in the Titans rebuild. I'm not going to do that for all of the rookies because honestly, I don't even know who else the Jaguars drafted. Who else did they get in this team in this draft? I don't even know anybody. I mean, McLeod looks like he's probably a draft pick. Jack Kaiser was a draft pick. Obviously, he's from Notre Dame. But we'll have to go through once we start re-signing people. We will obviously go through and notice some of them. But this, like I mentioned in the intro, the offensive line needs a little bit of help. Pretty much a complete restructure of this offensive line. I do like Anton Harrison. I just don't think he's going to develop very well. Ezra Cleveland's a nice player. How old is he at this point? He's 27. I feel like we could probably get the Super Bowl before he retires or before he gets too bad. Not retires, but before he gets too bad. But the rest of the offensive line probably needs to be completely rehauled. Tight end with Brenton Strange. I guess it really matters if we change playbooks from the Jags playbook, what happens to him. But like I said, Travis Etienne's done. We don't have to worry about that. Trevor Lawrence hopefully is done. We don't have to worry about him. And then Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter are all obviously locked in. We have Foyesade Oluokun and Devin Lloyd, who I like. Darnell Savage is fine. He might need to get an upgrade. Tyson Campbell's a good player. Trayvon Walker we're going to keep around, obviously. And Josh Hines Allen we're going to keep around, obviously. Everybody else is going to need to get upgraded here as well, especially the safety position, and probably Darnell Savage too. I would think he's going to get upgraded because he's star dev, but he's a 75. Is he really that good? And our draft pick for this season is going to be currently ranked number 17, but that could change depending on how good or bad we play. I don't know. This is obviously the past. This first round pick is what they used to trade up to get Travis Hunter, obviously, in real life. But we're technically a year backwards, but a year forwards at the same time, if you know what I mean, because we have the last year schedule and draft pick and all that kind of stuff, but we have the updated roster. It's difficult, but that's kind of the in between period we are between Madden 25, the end of Madden 25, and the beginning of Madden 26. So it's just have to how we have to do it. I'm not going to make any trades. We're going to ride out with this base roster of Jaguars and see how good Travis Hunter can do in his rookie year. Remember, Cam Ward won the Offensive Rookie of the Year when we simulated the Titans rebuild. So can Travis Hunter do the same thing? I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to simulate season number 1, and I'll catch you guys when it's finished. Season 1's in the books, and we actually made the playoffs after one season, which, I mean, you could think in theory this Jaguars team could make the playoffs in real life. I doubt it because they're the Jaguars at the end of the day, and Trevor Lawrence, is he gonna be good? Is he not gonna be good at the end? I don't know. So in on paper, you could see this Jaguars team making the playoffs in real life. I doubt that they would though. They'd have to really have a good season and impress me. But I like the Patriots making the playoffs. That makes me happy. Drake May developing. I like that. But 10 wins, that's a lot better than the season 1 that we had with Cam Ward, where I think we won 6 games in that rebuild. And Trevor Lawrence, that could also just be the Jaguars playbook is better in simulation than the Titans playbook. 3,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks for Trevor Lawrence. That's fine. I like those numbers. The interceptions need to go down, the yards need to come up, but those are still good numbers. 1,000 yards for Travis Etienne with 9 touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr. had 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, as a rookie, had 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. I don't think that's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year numbers. We, excuse me, we probably should have put him in the slot, but those are still great numbers. Dami Brown actually had 10 touchdowns. Good for him. He must have been in the slot then. And then Devin Lloyd leads the team in tackles with 108. Darnell Savage, Foyesade, Jordan Lewis. Tackle for loss leader was Trayvon Walker with 17. I'd like in this rebuild to have Trayvon Walker actually develop, so I hope he can. 14 tackles for loss for Josh Hines Allen, and then he also led the team with 12 and a half sacks, and then nobody else really got a bunch of sacks. 6 interceptions for Darnell Savage, though. That's kind of crazy. That could be a superstar dev for him. 5 interceptions for Foyesade, and then a couple for some other people. Very interesting stats on defense. I like the offensive numbers, and we make the playoffs. Are we going to win against New England? That's a big question. And we will have the classic, the classic Madden simulation. You do good in the regular season, make the playoffs just to lose in the first round. Now we didn't get that in the Titans rebuild, which was really shocking to me. Actually, I thought we were going to get absolutely shafted like we did here, but no, we actually we went to the Super Bowl and won it, which was completely surprising. But we make it to the off season now as we simulate the Super Bowl, which I think did I say Cowboys Ravens? Is that who the Super Bowl was? That's never gonna happen. And it's gonna be the Cowboys taking the championship. Good for them, I guess. Dak Prescott is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Whatever. Cool. Sick. Sick nasty. We've got DeMarvion Overshown as the Super Bowl MVP. Not a name you see as Super Bowl MVP a lot. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP of the league. We've got Lamar Jackson and Micah Parsons winning the Players of the Year. And then Ashton Jeanty, not Travis Hunter, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Tonka Hemingway, also for the Raiders, D tackle, wins the Defensive. I don't even know who the heck is Tonka Hemingway a real dude? Now I got to look at this up. Tonka Hemingway. He is a real guy. Yeah, he's a real guy. I've never heard this man in my entire life, and he's from the Raiders. He's drafted by the Raiders. Wow, he played at Louisville or South Carolina. It looks like he played at South Carolina. Tonka Hemingway is a real guy. The more you know. I didn't hear that man's name at all in the draft process, but now he's Defensive Rookie of the Year. Look at that AFC East though. 3 teams won 11 games and made the playoffs. Let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the negotiations and all that kind of stuff. But first, I want to take a look at this roster, see if any dev traits have gone up. We've got nothing on offense. Oh, no, Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange has gone up to a star dev, so he's probably going to be the tight end for us. How old is he? He's only 25. Yeah, he's going to be the tight end for us for the entire rebuild. I don't see a change in that. Nothing for Brian Thomas Jr. or Travis Hunter, but Travis Hunter does go up to an 84 overall. Lawrence is growing. ETN's growing. Offensive line stays the same. Defense, it looks like Chad Muma has now star dev. I was right about Darnell Savage. He goes up to superstar. How old is Darnell? Darnell's 29. Ugh, we might have to upgrade him. I don't know for sure what I want to do with that position. Andrew Wingard also goes up to star dev. Uh, Jones is star dev at corner. Okay, we got some interesting things going on right here. Eric Armstead should probably be the starting D tackle if we're being honest, at least for right now until we find another one. I do have the 2026 NFL draft loaded in, like I did for the Cam Ward rebuild. We have $77 million, and there's nobody here that I want to bring back. That's lucky. We don't have to worry about that. Absolutely amazing. We can spend all that money in free agency if we want to. We can spend all that money in free agency. Who's going to be available for us? We got Bobby Wagner, Zadarius Smith. Okay, so we're probably not going to spend all that money in free agency. Jonathan Cooper, but Chad Muma got star dev, so we don't have to upgrade him. Or at least not right now. Not with Jonathan Cooper, at least. Mm, I don't know if we even spend any money here. I don't think it'd be worth it. There's probably not anybody here that's that much better than what we have. So probably don't need to, unless I can cheese the system and maybe some of those young guys didn't have. Yes, there it is. Some of the young guys' contracts didn't get fixed. So we can cheese the system a little bit. Jahad Campbell's available. We need a middle linebacker. Eagles first round pick. I'm absolutely grabbing Jahad Campbell. And I'll give him star dev too because he probably deserves star dev from the original draft. So we will sign Jahad Campbell. I think he was the only one that was young. The Browns are going after him, but I don't think they're going to be able to get him. Yeah, he's the only guy that didn't have his contract correct. And I'm probably not going to do a Eagles rebuild to fix that contract, so I guess it doesn't really matter. That's probably going to be the only guy that we go after. Please, Jahad, we need a middle linebacker. Sign with us. Yes, Jahad Campbell, no longer a Philadelphia Eagle. He is, in fact, a Jacksonville Jaguar. We needed a second middle linebacker to pair alongside Devin Lloyd, and now we have that with Jahad, and we will give him star dev because I do think when Madden 26 comes out, he will have star dev. So we'll give him that. Whoops, that's the wrong way. We will give him star dev. And well, did I not click it? Whatever. This game's super laggy sometimes, even when you're offline. We'll just go right back and do it again. Okay, so now with the addition of Jahad Campbell, that changes some things in terms of draft because I was thinking about drafting Anthony Hill Jr., who is a middle linebacker from Texas, in this draft in the first round. But now with the addition of Jahad, we probably don't need him because we have Devin Lloyd, we have now Campbell. So we might need to go D tackle or corner with our first round pick this year. That probably would be the smarter thing to do. I guess we'll play it out and see what happens. Because there is Peter Woods. He's going to be in this draft class. So that could be a nice little first round pick. I guess we'll see where the mock draft has everybody going. So if we need to trade up, we certainly can. All right, private workouts. I was going to do national focus on defensive ends, but I accidentally clicked defensive tackles. So we have defensive tackles as our national focus. It's not 100%, but Peter Woods could be our guy. I did scout Anthony Hill, like I said, from Texas. Corner certainly could be an option for us, so we might want to scout the top two guys, Jermaine Matthews and Torian. Wait, what is his name? Toriano Pride Jr. My bad. I don't remember him very much. I'll get familiar with them. Like I said in the Cam Ward rebuild, this draft class I'm not super familiar with right now, but that's how it is every year. Once we get into the actual football season and I get more familiar with the players, and obviously I'll play College Football 26, and these guys will be the main focus of that game because they'll be the top guys. So once we come around to the draft next year, I will be more familiar with a lot of these guys. I'm obviously familiar with Jermaine Matthews because he's a Buckeye, but Caleb Downs is available. That would be a beautiful pickup, but I don't think we're going to be able to get Caleb Downs, unfortunately. I would absolutely love to. I think I need to use Peter Woods, even though he's at 80%. I think I need to know exactly what his overall, or not his overall, but his true talent. Show me that mock draft, that fifth one. What are we working with here? So Francis Malgoa, who is we took in the Titans rebuild, he's going to go number one overall this time. Nussmeyer, Proctor, Malachi Lawrence, Pride. Caleb Downs is 8. Okay, we're probably picking super late in the draft. We're picking at 21. Mm, do we trade up to get Caleb Downs at 8? It's not the craziest, not the craziest option, I guess. He's probably, since Peter Woods isn't even here in the first round, he's probably the only guy that I want. And I didn't get him in the Titans rebuild, so I kind of want him right now. Although I need to spend my staff points so I can get those things. So let's go over here to the player personnel side of things and buy all of this stuff. I'm not sure if over 300 points is going to be enough to buy everything, but we'll certainly buy as much as we can. We'll buy that. We'll buy that. Okay, we'll at least have enough to get all of this. Will we have enough to buy the re-signing thing? No, enough to buy 2 of them. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so we bought all the trading stuff, which means it's going to be easier to trade first round picks around, which is always better. So we need to go from 21 to 8 to get Caleb Downs. 21 to 8. So if we go from 21 to 19, that should be doable. 21 to 19 is accepted. And yes, this is normal trading difficulty, like every video I ever have done on Madden is always on the regular base normal trading difficulty. Nothing's been changed, nothing like that. All you got to do is spend your staff points, and it makes it a lot easier to do these trades. We'll go from 19 to 17, whoever has 17. It is held by the Lions, so we'll swap with them and get up in the draft a little bit. And then from 17 to 15, and you get the process. I'm probably going to skip through this so you don't have to see it, because it's just going to be this over and over again until we get to around number 8. So I will catch you guys when we have acquired the number 8 overall pick from the Houston Texans and get ready for the draft. Okay, we have acquired actually the number 7 overall pick just to jump us one spot ahead of the Houston Texans, so that in case a team ahead of us drafts Travis Hunter or drafts Caleb Downs, it wouldn't be the team at number 7. We would be the team at number 7. So Francis Malgoa goes at 1. Garrett Nussmeyer goes 2 to the Jets. 3 is Ruben Bain the third, or not the third. He's junior. His son would be Ruben Bain the third. And then Lawrence goes to the Titans. Pride Jr. goes 5 to the Seahawks. The Browns will grab Zachariah Branch, which is a good pick for them. And now we are up at 7. We're going to take ourselves Caleb Downs, who is a beast of a player. Absolute stud, wherever he's at. Here he is, Caleb Downs. Welcome aboard, big dog. And he's going to be number 6 player in the class. He's 92 speed. He's a stud, and that's our free safety figured out for the rebuild. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to skip to the next round because I don't know if I want to trade into the second round or trade up into the second round, because I kind of want... Is there a player that I want? Is Peter Wood still available? Peter got taken. Okay. Peter Woods got taken end of the first round. So we could just let it ride with one of these D tackles. Do I think one of the D tackles gets grabbed? Probably. But we'll have to see. I do see DJ Hicks on the board, so that's a little upsetting. And I see Ingram Dawkins. Does that mean all 3 of them got grabbed? Or is there still a D tackle available for me? There's one. Tyler Onyedim from Iowa State. Don't really know about him, but he's around 2 to 3. He looks pretty good, and we need D tackle pretty bad. So he's number 20 in true value with a hidden dev. I'll take it. Tyler Onyedim. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know any other way that you would pronounce it, but I guess there's probably always another way. I just don't know it. But that's a big pickup. So we fixed our 2 big needs, which is free safety and D tackle. Now we just need either a strong safety to replace Darnell Savage, but I don't think it's in this draft. Or we could add another corner, which Avian Terrell, which is I'm pretty sure that's AJ Terrell's brother, or at least related to. I don't maybe he's not his brother, but at least I think he's related to him at least. We don't need a linebacker right now. We don't need a D tackle. We just drafted one. We could use another defensive end, I guess, but there's always offensive line that we need. And this guy, who's this guy? Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern looks really good. Oh my God, there's no way this guy's actually legit, right? I gotta grab this guy. There's no way he's actually that good. He's number 22. He's got normal dev, but he's got to be a high overall, I would think. Wow, I don't even know who that is. Is he a real player? I would assume so. I don't know, but he looks like the real deal. That's a sick pickup. I like that a lot because we need to pretty much completely overhaul this entire offensive line. Jordan Hancock, didn't he get drafted this year? I could have sworn Jordan Hancock was in the draft class. Let me Google that real quick. I could have sworn he was a senior this year in real life. Jordan Hancock. Is he a senior? Oh no, wait. Yeah, he went to the Buffalo Bills. I thought so. So this draft class just has a couple of extra guys that are already in the league, so that's okay. Sometimes that happens when you're creating a draft class. We've got Marvin Jones Jr. We've got Wade Woodaz, which I like. Good player for Clemson. Do I want to go linebacker? Do I want to go offensive line again, maybe? Who's this guy? Luke Pettibon? Not a great athlete, but he looks pretty solid in terms of his overall attribute grades. Left tackle's pretty thin. He looks like he's probably the best guy available, so let's grab him. Luke Pettibon from Wake Forest is going to be on the board for us. Number 177, normal dev. Kind of a miss, but we knew that kind of going in because he's a day 3 guy. And let's end the draft there. Okay, but we killed it. We got a stud in Caleb Downs, and we got a pretty decent D tackle in, what was it, Onyedem? Onyedem, I think is what the name was. I forget already. But those are two really good positions, or really two good players that have filled those positions. And Tiernan's a 75. I knew with those grades, you couldn't have been lower than like a 73. So right out the gates, he's already higher overall than Anton Harrison. He's going to start right away over Harrison at right tackle. And Onyedem's going to probably start right away at D tackle. And Caleb Downs is obviously going to start over Andrew Wingard at free safety. So 3 starters in the first 3 rounds. I'd say that's a W. They drafted Cade Klubnik. Oh, we had 2 third-round picks. I completely skipped over. That's why they drafted Cade Klubnik. Oh, that's my bad. I didn't realize we had 2 third-round picks. Because Cade Klubnik is here as the backup to Trevor Lawrence. The rest of the class, if you are not familiar, it is CJ Baxter, number 1 player in it, then Malagoa, Ruben Owens, then Caleb Downs. Okay, I'm happy with that. We got ourselves 3 starters in the first 3 rounds. That's pretty much the goal of every NFL team, every single draft, is to draft 3 starters in the first 3 rounds. So this team's already looking a little bit better. Offensive line still needs a little bit of work, but with the addition of Tiernan, we still got Ezra Cleveland. Walker Little's fine, but he's probably going to need to be upgraded. Offense looks good. It's going to keep getting better, I would assume. And then Caleb Downs will start right there. We will have, let me generate best lineup here, see if they put the rookie. Okay, they don't put the rookie ahead of Onyedem, but we will put him ahead of Onyedem. And right ahead of Hamilton. Linebacker with the addition of Campbell's looking good. Corner still needs a little bit of work, but we're getting there. And then we need to make sure that Travis Hunter plays in the slot because I want him to get as many touches as physically possible. So slot receiver, Travis Hunter, and then probably Brian Thomas Jr. is the backup just in case. So boom. That is what our lineup's going to look like for year number 2. We will simulate it. I will load in the 2027 draft just like I did for the Titans rebuild, and we will move on to season number 2 and see if we can make the playoffs for the 2nd straight year and maybe actually win a playoff game. Year 2 is in the books, and once again, we make the playoffs. This team is a perennial playoff team, it seems like, but we improved. 12 wins instead of the 10 wins that we had last year. I think it was 10 wins. Whatever. 12 wins now. And I hope to see some growth from Trevor Lawrence, and I do see that. 3,900 yards, 38 touchdowns, 10 picks. He did exactly what I asked. Lower the interceptions, raise the yards, and he did exactly what I wanted him to. 1,000 yards again for Travis Etienne. Good for him. Brian Thomas Jr., 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, along with 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns for Travis Hunter. That's exactly what I wanted to see from the big dog. Huge. Then we go defense. Devin Lloyd, 118 tackles. Jordan Lewis, 110 tackles. And Foyeside with 108. Tackle velocity was Josh Hines Allen with 14, and he led the team in sacks by a billion with 15. Trayvon Walker had 5.5. We also had Foyeside with 5 interceptions, 4 for Darnell Savage and Jerry Jones. Ooh, okay, Jerry, and I see you out here. 4 picks, 57 tackles. Let's go, big dog. That's huge. And I wanted to mention something. I completely forgot about Mason Smith. He's a nice little young, youthful defensive tackle, but he's not very good. So he's going to completely just go into the void. He's going to go to the shadow realm because nobody likes him. So we're going to simulate this game against the Ravens. It's a tough matchup to get in the first round, and it will be a loss. Why, EA Sports? Why? Unbelievable. 2 straight playoff appearances, 2 straight wild card losses for the boys, and we will move to this season 2 off season as the Ravens, congratulations, make the Super Bowl against the Washington Commanders. So it's a battle of Maryland, I guess, the Washington Baltimore area, whatever, Washington D.C. That's kind of cool. Did Jaden Daniels get a championship? Because that'd be pretty sick if he did. He has not won a championship. It is won by the Baltimore Ravens. Roquan Smith is the MVP. Mahomes back-to-back MVPs of the league. Then we've got Puka Nacua and Myles Garrett as players of the year, and then Drew Aller, who's quarterbacking the Saints, by the way, and Reuben Bain Jr. are the rookies of the year. All right, so year 2 off season has arrived. Let's simulate to the re-sign period and also take a little peek at possible depth trade upgrades. See if we have any of those, because it'd be awesome if we did, including Trevor Lawrence possibly. No, Trevor Lawrence stays at star dev. Thomas Jr. and Hunter are getting crazy good. Anton Harrison passed Tiernan for some reason. I don't know how that's possible. And then on defense, Darnell Savage is a freaking X Factor. Jerry Jones, by the way, is superstar. What? Darnell Savage is an X Factor player. Are we being for real? He didn't have that good of a year, did he? I mean, he had a few interceptions. Wow. So he goes from star dev in year number 1 to superstar dev after year number 1, and then X Factor after year number 2. That is unreal. That's legitimately unreal. That's crazy. We do need to upgrade Chad Muma because he's just not going to get the job done, I don't think. So if we can go into free agency with a lot of money, maybe spend on an edge rusher. ETN's not expensive, thank God. Devin Lloyd's not crazy expensive. Trayvon's okay. So all of the guys that I want to bring back are not crazy expensive, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you for that. Travis Etienne, I thought would be the most expensive, but he's not. He is already 28, which is kind of crazy, actually. But we will bring him back on a massive extension, and he's going to come back. Thank you very much. Devin Lloyd also coming back. He's probably the most expensive. But I do like Devin Lloyd. Think he's a good player, and he will be a Jaguar. Welcome back. Trayvon Walker obviously coming back. Former first overall pick. I do love the saying that if you have to say somebody is a former first round pick or former first overall pick, you know that they absolutely suck. that always makes me laugh when somebody brings that up. Oh, Jonah Monheim is one of the rookies that they got. I didn't realize he was here. We might bring him back. $44 million. I do want to bring back Jack Kaiser just to kind of have his depth, even though he's a little bit older at 26 already. All right, Jack Kaiser's coming back. We have 39 million. I could bring back this guy, Tutankhamun. I could bring him back if we want to have depth at the running back position. So he's going to come back. And that leaves us with $35 million. We're not going to re-sign Muma because we were going to upgrade him anyway. So that leaves us with a good chunk of change to head into free agency. And maybe if the pot is stirring, if I'm feeling frisky, sign some big names if they're here. Aiden Hutchinson. How do we how do we get Aiden Hutchinson? I don't know if it's even physically possible. Um, the young guys, James Pierce Jr. gets his contract mixed up. Luther Burden gets his contract mixed up. Oh, I'm totally capitalized on this. At Mecca. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. All of the rookies are here. Yes, please. I'm not complaining about it. All of the rookies are in free agency. So even though we need what's his face? Aiden Hutchinson. I think it's smarter to draft all or to sign all of these former first round picks and go from there. Of course, why would I not do that? Why would I not do this? This is no-brainer type of stuff right here. So I'm going to offer James Pierce Jr. a contract, and I'm gonna offer Luther Burden a contract. You can bet your bottom dollar and your top dollar. We're gonna offer Luther Burden a contract. We're gonna offer, I don't even know, probably a Mecca Ibuka. Maybe Josh Simmons. We can move him inside. Let's offer Josh Simmons a contract. Now I'm out of money, so I am gonna have to restructure at least one person so I can offer more former first round picks some money. This is how we get good immediately. Uh, let's restructure let's restructure Josh Hines Allen's contract, and we'll restructure can't do Devin Lloyd's. We'll restructure Tyson Campbell's. Okay, does that free up enough money? Free up enough money for me to go crazy in free agency. It gives me 18 million. We can't offer Aiden Hutchinson, which I would absolutely. One of these days, I will go after Aiden Hutchinson. But I think it's better to go after these young guys because I think it's more fun. So who else do we want to go after? I mean, we can basically go after anybody that we want. Donovan Jackson makes a lot of sense. Just bring the Buckeye offensive line back together. That leaves us with about $10 million. We should go after one more person. We could go after a Mecca. That could be a smart thing to do. Shadur's here. Um, who is who's the extra guy that we go after? I mean, there's some great players available. We have Bretton Strange, so we don't really need Mason Taylor. Malachi Starks makes a lot of sense. Malachi Starks makes. We could sign Trevor Etienne and then have him team up with his brother. That could be a fun little storyline. But we'll go after Malachi Starks. We don't have to pay them too much money because nobody's really. Oh, actually, other people are offering him. I didn't think anybody else was. But let's go after those guys. And we got Burden, Starks, and Jackson. Who did we not get? Josh Simmons, I think, was the guy that didn't sign with us. What about James Pierce Jr.? We get James Pierce Jr. So I think Donovan Jackson didn't, or Josh Simmons didn't sign with us. Matthew Golden signed with the Giants. Jackson Dart with the Rams. Yeah, Josh Simmons signed with the Eagles. Okay. So we didn't get Josh Simmons, but we technically didn't need him. We needed Donovan Jackson a little bit more than we needed him. And Houston got Aiden Hutchinson, which is absolutely insane. Okay. So Jackson's here. Monheim is going to be the starting center for us. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Luther Burden's down there. And then we need to draft an outside linebacker, that's for sure. Then we go to Malachi Starks. Do I want to just make Malachi Starks a strong safety? Or let's make Caleb Downs a strong safety. He hits a little bit harder. I know that Darnell Savage is a X factor, but he's also ancient in terms of NFL football. So let's turn him into a strong safety, Caleb Downs, and then he should just start right over Darnell. There he is. He's an 80 overall at that position. Then Malachi Starks. I don't think I'm going to go in and give everybody star dev that we just signed because that would be a little bit too excessive. I did go and give Jahad Campbell, but I think I'll keep everybody else as normal dev. If they get naturally grow throughout the season, then it'll be fine. But I'm not going to go in and give them all star dev. That'd be a little too crazy. I did just go and sign them all, so giving them all a dev trait would be a little insane. But that's what the free agency period is going to be about. We'll head to the draft, and our big priority this draft is outside linebacker. Outside linebacker and corner are probably the two biggest needs. Once we get those two positions figured out, then we can probably move into the offensive line. But Jonah Monheim might just be good enough to get the job done at 70 overall. Maybe. I don't know. So let's look at those two positions. Let's look at outside linebacker. We've got Rousseau, who we will scout. We've got who else do I know from these? Gabe Harris sounds familiar. Grayson Howard's name sounds a little familiar. What about in here? We did draft Aaron Childs in the Titans rebuild, so I am familiar with him. There's not a lot of depth in the linebacking pool, is there? Not a lot of depth. I'll scout Colin Simmons, and then corner. We scouted these top two guys. We'll probably scout somebody a little bit further down. I don't want to go this far down though. Let's scout possibly Bravian Rogers and Frederic Jr. OJ Frederic Jr. We can't scout him. Oh, that's a crazy name, by the way. All right, so those will be our private workouts. Let's take a look at that mock draft because we're going to be picking around the same spot, around 21, just like we were last year. But I don't really have a guy in mind this year that I absolutely want. So Ryan Williams is going to go number 1 overall to the Titans, which is where he went in our Titans rebuild because I wanted Jeremiah Smith. The Browns had the pick for us and they took him, which was absolutely insane. But we're not going to go for either one of those guys. So Rusa, I don't know how to say his name. He's projected to go at number 12, but he's around 1 to 2 talent. So maybe he's not as good as advertised. They have us taking Damon Wilson the second. Antoine Knapp is a top 5 guard. Oh, mama. I might just stay at 21 and take him. That seems like an obvious choice. Arch Manning going to go number 30 to the Browns. That's hilarious. I think I'm going to stay at 21 and take that right guard. I mean, that seems pretty obvious right there. That seems pretty obvious. So number 1 pick is Ryan Williams from Alabama. Then the number 2 pick is Dylan Stewart, defensive end. Then Jeremiah Smith to the Dolphins. Let's get to our pick. And we will grab, hopefully, a stud. I mean, this just makes too much sense. Antoine Knapp from Notre Dame. I always love Notre Dame right guards, that's for sure. Number 4 player in the class, absolute stud. Now we could probably move Ezra Cleveland to center and then make Donovan Jackson the guard and Antoine Knapp the guard. Or maybe we could move Donovan Jackson to tackle because he played tackle in Ohio State. He had to fill in for Josh Simmons who got hurt. So that could be something. A couple of these corners are still available. Rogers is still there. Linebackers are starting to fall off a little bit. I kind of like the idea of taking Bravian Rogers because he's a round 2 to 3 guy. We know he's exactly that good. So we're going to grab number 65 in true value. Normal dev, but he's cornerback depth. I like him. Would have liked to see a dev trade on him, but that's okay. We move to the 3rd round, and now here's where we probably need to take a linebacker if there's one good enough to grab, which I don't know if there is. We've got Juan Molden, who is scouted up to 70%, so he's going to have to be decent. Let's grab him. We need somebody to play outside linebacker for us. He's number 61 with a dev trait. Juan Molden, welcome aboard. Huge player to get. And that's pretty much all of our needs filled. So now we can just take whatever we want, really. There's Tevin Brown, not from Ohio State. Let's see. Should we take another wide receiver? We took Jaden Greathouse in the Titans rebuild. I do like Samaj Morgan, even though he does play for a gross program. I do like Samaj Morgan. He's a decent player. I kind of want to take Bryant Westco Jr., but do we need another wide receiver? I don't think we do. We're pretty much good at wide receiver, I think. Right? Because we got Brian Thomas Jr., we've got Travis Hunter. That's really all you need. Those are really the only 2 guys you need to win a championship. So maybe we focus more on the defensive side of the ball. Anthony Smith is a round 3 to 4 guy. I think I might just scout or draft somebody that we have on the defensive end side because those are the positions that we have actually scouted. So Anthony Smith, they say is round 3 to 4. We might as well grab him. 113. He's got normal dev. I mean, they said he was around 3 to 4. I can't complain too much. We got him in the fourth round. It's not the end of the world. We filled all of our basic holes. We filled the outside linebacker spot. We filled the cornerback spot to an extent. We could obviously still get one next year if we need to. But I like that draft again. That was a good draft. Getting a guard in Antoine Knapp, 77 overall. Bravian Rogers at corner. Juan Molden at outside linebacker. The rest of the guys aren't great, but that's fine. They don't need to be that good. Best player in the class was Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith, as you would expect them to be. And now for the third year, we won't use any real life draft classes. It'll just be auto generated from here on out. Okay. So moving into the year three sim, we'll get the team looking the way that we need to. I'm curious about Donovan Jackson at tackle. Is he going to be better overall than Walker Little? Is he going to have that ability to play outside in the tackle spot? He did it in Ohio State. He's going to be a, hold on, generate best lineup. He's going to be a 76 at left tackle, which is not horrible, but that keeps Monheim at center. What do I want to do with this offensive line? Tiernan's actually a 78 overall guard. If I move Ezra Cleveland inside, does he stay at 81? If I move him inside attack or to center, what does he change to? He's an 80, so that's not that bad. And then we still have, then Tiernan gets to play left guard. Knapp will play at center. Harrison stays at right tackle. And we trade Walker Little for something. What's his value? He's got Jalen Jones at corner. Quinshawn Judkins is cool. Hollywood Brown at 30 years old. Jack Velling. I think I'll just take Quinshawn because that's hilarious. Give me Quinshawn Judkins as our second string running back. And then Harrison. Actually, they have Harrison playing over here. No, that's not what I want. Uh, I think I might have to make Tiernan a guard because they have Harrison playing tackle and then all that kind of stuff. So we'll switch that back. Tiernan will play. He'll play left guard because he was like a 78 or something at that. We'll switch that, generate the best lineup, and then they switch back. Okay, that's how I want the offensive line to look. Wide receiver's good, running back's good, quarterback hopefully is good. And the defense, we got Molden there, we got Malachi Starks, we got Campbell corner. Everybody's looking good. Caleb Downs. All right, so we're gonna simulate season number 3 and hope that season number 3 continues to improve. We won 10 games, I think, in year number 1, 12 games in year number 2. We made the playoffs both years. Maybe this year we can win 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 games. Who knows? Win a Super Bowl? Probably not, but I guess you never know until you sim. Let's find out. Season 3 is all finished. We won 11 games again, third straight playoff appearance. This Jags team is just always making the playoffs. We win the division again, which in this division is not super hard to do. But we get another champion or another playoff appearance, and hopefully we can actually win a playoff game this year. 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Those are fantastic numbers for Trevor Lawrence. Good to see. Under 1,000 yards for Travis Etienne with 12 touchdowns. 1,000 yards for Brian Tom, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. And Travis Hunter just barely didn't get 1,000. He got 957 and 3 touchdowns. That's probably because I didn't put him in the slot this year. I think I forgot about that. Devin Lloyd had 100 plus tackles. Good for him. Hines Allen had 15 tackles for loss. Mason Smith, Trayvon Walker, Hines Allen again, 9.5 sacks. This playbook does get a lot of interceptions. I noticed that. That's for sure. All right. Well, are we actually going to win a playoff game? Or is it going to be 3 straight years of disappointment? Okay. Playoff victory. Pinch me. I might be dreaming. That's kind of crazy. A playoff victory for the boys? Is this progress? Are we playing in the AFC Championship? Oh, we got beat by the Raiders. All right. Well, hey, we won a playoff game. That's about as good as I can ask for. That is about as good as I can ask for, considering the first 2 years we got bumped in the first round. So we are improving. But we moved to the season 3 off season. Now we have an auto-generated draft class to worry about, so we don't know who's going to be good and who's going to be bad. But that's the fun of it. That is the fun of it. Now our draft pick's going to be a little bit lower in the first round. Who won the Super Bowl? It was the Vikings and the Bills, I think, is who was in the Super Bowl there. Two teams that have never won a championship before, and the Vikings get it done. Congratulations to them. JJ McCarthy is the Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to be sick. Josh Allen wins MVP of the league. Jordan Addison and Nick Bonito are the players of the year. Arch Manning is the offensive rookie of the year, and Deshaun Spears for the Vikings, strong safety, is your defensive rookie of the year. All right, interesting. Good for Arch Manning. Maybe he is the next coming of Jesus Cristo. 35 million in available cap. Bretton Strange, Quinshawn, Tank Bigsby, Gabe Davis, Ezra Cleveland. Okay, okay. It's not absolutely insane the amount of people here, but it is going to kind of get a little expensive here. So I definitely want to bring back Bretton Strange. That's pretty obvious. So let's do that. He's going to come back. Perfect. At least with 25 million. Now we need to choose between Quinshawn and Tank Bigsby. I think I'm going to choose Tank Bigsby simply because he's cheaper and he wants to be here. So Tank Bigsby's coming back. Quinshawn's going to leave us. Gabe Davis we don't need because we signed Luther Burden. Ezra Cleveland we absolutely need. So we'll offer him a new contract. And he will come back to the team. Welcome back, Ezra. Diami Brown, we don't need. Anton Harrison, we kind of need. Not necessarily. Darnell Savage, we're moving on from. And everybody else here, we don't need. Do we need Gabe Davis? Does he do anything for us? Probably not. But I think I'll bring him back simply because we'd have like three receivers at that point with Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and Luther Burden, especially if we're going to let go of Diami Brown. So we'll sign Gabe Davis back. But I don't think we need Anton Harrison, right? Because we signed Ezra Cleveland back. So we can just move him back to guard, move Tyrion back to tackle, and then we would just need a center. As Knapp has superstar dev, by the way. Nobody else goes. Oh, Trevor Lawrence. I didn't even know. Trevor Lawrence goes up to superstar dev. That's huge. Defensively, I don't see any changes here. That's okay. Juan Molden has star dev. Awesome. Uh, we'll move. We'll move Ezra back to guard, and then we'll move Tiernan back to tackle, and then we'll just need a center, and then the offense line's back to back fixed. We'll do that, and then we'll move Tiernan back to tackle. He got a little bit of playtime. Does my right tackle have shooter sleeves? Oh, all right. Our right tackle with shooter sleeves is crazy. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so now we'll just need to figure out the center, or we just keep Jonah Monheim, I guess, as our center, but probably not. Let's advance the week. We're not going to have enough money to make any free agent signings, so we can take a little peek into who's available, but we're not going to be able to do anything about it. Oh my God, Will Anderson Jr. and Brian Branch are available, and Zay Flowers. Oh my God, this is an insane free agency class, and I want to spend my money on all these guys. I simply cannot do that though. Dylan Sampson's available. Trevor Etienne back. Just trying to see all the. Oh, there's Travion. Just trying to see all the rookies from this 2025 draft class that get into free agency because their contracts aren't real. But we are not going to spend any money. We're going to go straight to the draft and hopefully grab ourselves a center because that's really the last thing that we need. And then corner. Center and corner are about the only needs that we have. And maybe another wide receiver, a fourth wide receiver since we lost Diami Brown. But that's kind of lower on the totem pole, I would think. There is a top 5 corner in this class. That sucks because I don't think we're going to be able to get him, even though he'd probably be pretty cool. What about Matt Toon? We'll scout him. Got to scout some centers. There's only 2 draftable centers, so we might as well scout both of them and see which one is the best one. All right. Well, I guess we could trade up to get that top 5 corner. Since we're probably not going to draft a center with the first pick. He's number 2. Oh, he just has to be number two, doesn't he? He absolutely has to be number two. We're picking at 25. There's a day three guy going in the first round. Okay, so what is this? What's this class look like? This guy's around one and two. You know what? We'll just stick with him. We'll draft him with our first round pick. I'm not going to trade up for the James Toll. He looks cool, but I can't. I don't want to trade. It just takes too much time. I don't have the patience to do that again. Are there any sneaky day draft guys on the defensive end side of the ball? There's a round two to three who's a day three guy. We might grab him. What about this two centers? Wow. Eric Guerrero is potentially undrafted. Well, it's a good thing we figured that out because I might have taken Guerrero. It's a good thing we figured that out. So, what the plan is, we're going to grab the corner with our first round pick right here, and then we're going to grab the center with our second round pick and be totally fine. He's the first corner on the board. The center is still available. We might have to trade into the second round, higher into the second round, just to make sure we guarantee him. Matt Toon, welcome aboard to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's got a hidden dev. That's always helpful. We might need to trade into the second round a little bit. I don't know when that center would go. Let's just trade with the Cardinals. It's a little risky to risk. I mean, he's projected 2 to 3, which means he might be able to be there at 57 when we pick, but there's a good chance that he's not, and I don't really want to run that risk. So I'm willing to trade a lot of stuff actually to get up to the Cardinals pick at 35. Right out of the gates, it is in the orange. I'd be willing to give a third round pick next year. That gets it into the lime green. I'd be willing to give up another third round pick the year after. That gets it close. I'll give up a fourth round pick next year as well. And that trade is accepted. So we move up to 35 to grab the center. Not trading too much. Hopefully we don't have to use those picks because we have won a Super Bowl by that point, but you never know. Justin Jackson is going to be our center. He's got to be high overall than 70, right? Even if he's like a 73 or 74, he's got to be high overall than Jonah Monheim. So he'll start as center for us this year, and then the offensive line's done from there. And now we just take random people. Wait, what happened? Oh, they took a center. Did I skip my pick? Oh, never mind. We took a tight end. Oops. I hope he's good. I didn't realize I skipped the pick. I wasn't really even paying attention. I guess it doesn't matter that much, but there's a 2 to 3 wide receiver. Why is he still available? He's got good speed. Let's take him and find out how bad he actually is. He's number 170 in true value. He's got 93 speed. Tory Mann. Well, man, you shouldn't be in the draft if you suck that bad. All right, well, we finished the rebuild, basically. Now all we have to do is win a Super Bowl because we've replaced the entire offensive line. Well, for the most part, we still have Ezra Cleveland around. And we have fixed the defense. So pretty much everything is ready to go now. Everything's in place. Matt Toon's a 74. Jackson's a 74, so he'll start at center. Awesome. Evan Betts, who they took when I accidentally skipped the pick, he's a 70. That's fine. Oops, where am I going? We'll take a look at the class, see how good it is. There's an 81. It was Eric Ship, and an 80 overall for James Tull. Hey, I could have traded up for him. I knew he was probably going to be pretty good because auto-generated corners in Madden draft classes are usually freaks. But I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to waste my time doing that. So, well, we took a good guy. He's got dev trade. If he didn't have a dev trade, I'd feel a little bit more upset about it. But offensive line's done. Tight end is done. Wide receivers are done. Running back's done. Quarterback's done. Offense completely done. Defense is done. I like the defense. This is a championship team. It's a championship team. We've made the playoffs. We've improved every year. We have made the playoffs 3 straight years. I think we can win a Super Bowl this year. Let's go and do that. Okay, we really, really improved with this roster. 14 wins and the number 1 seed in the AFC. I'd like the sound of that. And I haven't changed the playbooks. We're still running both standard Jacksonville Jaguars playbooks. But this team's starting to develop really, really well. And that's what I'm talking about. Trevor Lawrence, 4,200 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I knew you could do it, Prince Charming. I knew you could. You just had to have the right people back you, and we have. That's a great season. Rushing numbers, ETN did fine. 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards for Travis Hunter, and 1,000 yards for Brian Thomas Jr., and 25 touchdowns from Gabe Davis. Oh my God. What are you doing? He had to have been in the slot. What in the wide world of universal sports is happening right now? That's absolutely insane. Defensively, we had Devin Lloyd with 112 tackles, Juan Molden with 107, 76 for Campbell. We had Hines Allen with 17, Walker with 10 tackles for loss. Mason Smith led the team with 10 sacks. Where did you come from, my guy? 7.5 for Hines Allen. Molden had 5. Interception leader Campbell with 3, Scott with 2, Lloyd with 2. Good numbers. Good numbers. We good enough to win a number 1 seed. Can we please not have the Madden scuff? There it is, a victory. Usually, what happens is you win and you get number 1 seed territory, and then you get bumped in the first round, your first simulation in divisional. That's usually what happens. But we have not had that happen. We take on the Buffalo Bills at home in the AFC Championship. This is our Super Bowl window. Let's go get it done. We are here at the AFC Championship game in Duval as we take on the Buffalo Bills, who have a history of championships in this series, or at least or in this rebuild, at least playing in them. I think they won one, but we lead 10-0. That's a good start. I like that a lot. Can we get the job done? Actually, 17-0. Are we gonna shut out the Buffalo Bills? No. Okay, they get a touchdown, but as long as we can just hold off, they get a field goal. Can we just hold on for the victory? I think we might have to jump in here just to guarantee we get the victory. 17-14. Oh, Buffalo's got a turnover. That's why they're not playing very well. The handoff is to ETN and Trevor ETN, or Travis, not Trevor, Travis ETN with the big time run. Gets it up to the 34-yard line. A minute to go with 2 timeouts for the Bills. They're going to keep using them. But as long as we can get a first down here, which we do, we should be golden. We shouldn't have to worry about anything now. They want me to waste a down by kneeling it? I don't think so. Those Jaguars' eyes and the tunnel, it's very intimidating. Very, very intimidating. Okay, so we used all our timeouts. We should be able just to get out of this with nothing happening. And we do. 17-14. We will play in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That is what I'm freaking talking about. That's huge. Absolutely massive. All right. Who are we playing against, though? Playing against the Vikings? We playing against the Cowboys? The Eagles? Who we taking against? Who's coming? What do we got? What do we got? It's going to be the Green Bay Packers, who are also a 14-win team. Interesting. Trevor Lawrence continues to upgrade. That's nice. Antoine Knapp continues to upgrade. All right. It is Super Bowl time. Trevor Lawrence won MVP. Oh my good God. Yes, please. Okay. It's Super Bowl time. This is our chance to end the rebuild. Let's go and do it. Here we are in the Super Bowl. It is the Jacksonville Jags versus the Green Bay Packers, and I hope we can get the job done. That's a big touchdown, though, but the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own. We get one as well, 14-7. Packers get another one. They answer again. They get a field goal out of it. We get a field goal out of it as well. They get a touchdown. We get a touchdown. This is back and forth action at the highest position possible, and we will jump in 1st and 10. Here we go. 1st and 10, 49 seconds between us and glory. We're right here for a field goal to win the championship. Here we go. All we have to do is get into field goal range even further. Just line it up for the kicker. Timeout called by the Packers. Keep lining it up. Just keep getting, just inch closer and closer. Field goal is perfectly fine. We don't need to win by a touchdown. ETN does a great job there. If you could make it even closer, that'd be perfect for me. But this isn't college football. I'm better at NFL field goals than I am college football field goals for some reason. Oh, but ETN gets it right there. I mean, you're basically asking to get a touch or get a field goal right here. If you want me to, if you want me to score a touchdown, I guess I will. ETN, he's down at the 2. I'm gonna let this roll a little bit here. I'm gonna let this roll. I'm not gonna do the accelerated version because that might take it all the way down to 0, and I don't want to get screwed. So we're just gonna let this ride manually, and then we will kick a 19-yard field goal for the Super Bowl. The Packers fans are probably just absolutely infuriated right now as they know that their season is over without a championship. They got so far, but it couldn't happen. And we will end this Super Bowl with a game-winning field goal from the 19 yards from the 2. Here we go. It's right down Main Street. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have won the Super Bowl. We have rebuilt them and give them a championship in Duval. Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Josh Hines Allen. We kept the team together and just sprinkled in little bits of juice magic to give this team what they needed to win a Lombardi trophy, and they have done exactly that. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have completed the rebuild, and that's another successful one. That's first overall pick Cam Ward successful, and now number 2 overall pick Travis Hunter successful. Next up is the Giants with Jackson Dart. So we will take them on in an upcoming rebuild video. So be on the lookout for that. That one should be pretty difficult, actually. Actually, you know what? That's a twofer, right? Because Abdul Carter's also on the Giants. So that's a little two-piece for you right there. We get Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart. But that is the Super Bowl one for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is the MVP of the league. Gabe Davis is the MVP of the Super Bowl, which is just absolutely insane. He also wins Offensive Player of the Year by getting 25 freaking touchdowns. Will Anderson Jr. is Defensive Player of the Year. Brandon Tongue, he is the running back for the Ravens. He took over for Derrick Henry, who retired. He wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then James Tull, who was that 80 overall cornerback. He got drafted by the Saints, and he won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So let's take one final look at this roster and say goodbye to the Jacksonville Jaguars for another year. Trevor Lawrence goes up to X Factor. That's absolutely beautiful. Jackson's a star dev player. Awesome. Knapp was a great addition to the team. Travis Hunter's now the number 1 wide receiver option on the squad. Signing Luther Burden was fun. On the defensive side of things, we just fixed the linebacking core. Juan Molden was a big pickup. Jahad Campbell was cool. Malachi Starks was fun. Caleb Downs I finally got, which made me happy. Defensive line was great. On Yedem was a good pickup. I think it's Matt Toon. I forget who it is. He was a good player. But this is the real man of the hour, Travis Hunter. What a stud. What an absolute stud. You love to see it. I'm happy with the rebuild. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.